You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
I get a little emotional every time I hear Greta Thunberg talk. She's truly one of a kind, one of the most beautiful souls in this world, and her activism, she's talking to world leaders there with that strength. So more from her powerful remarks at the United Nations.
You are failing us, but the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
We will never forgive you. We will never forgive you for destroying this planet in the name of profits. And what blows my mind is that the people on the right who only care about those profits, at least in the United States, I'm talking about those very right-wingers, they scream about Jesus all the time, believing in Jesus, how Jesus is the answer. Don't you see the living embodiment of Jesus's teachings right in front of you in Greta Thunberg? So you refuse to listen to her words, but she is walking the walk of what Jesus preached. No materialism. So she only, if you don't know this about her, she only wears used clothes and doesn't buy new things. Selflessness, forgoing her own education for the comfort, for the existence of the planet, for her fellow man and woman. Their hypocrisy is stunning. So it's so angering, and she's this beautiful voice for this movement. And obviously I'm moved. I know a lot of people have been moved as well. But we can't just get lost in her as a human being, even though she's so impressive. The statistics is what she cares about. The science is what she cares about, and what we should all care about. So some of the statistics she alluded to in her UN address, she elaborated on in a piece in The Independent. As a reminder, she is 16 years old. We have 12 years as from the 1st of January 2018 to cut our emissions of carbon dioxide in half. But I guess that hardly any of you have heard that there is a 50% chance of staying below a 1.5 degrees Celsius of global temperature rise above pre-industrial levels. 50% chance. And why is it so important to stay below the 1.5 degree limit? Because that is what the United Science calls for to avoid destabilizing the climate so that we stay clear of setting off an irreversible chain reaction beyond human control. Greta is on the autism spectrum, and it allows her to see this crisis more clearly than the rest of us. She's called it her superpower, which again, like, I've been crying throughout this whole video, but I might cry more about that. So she does not possess the cognitive dissonance that the rest of us do. She sees the doom clearly. And the rest of these world leaders, oh, what about the oil profits? What about the fossil fuels? What about my campaign contributions in the United States? Screw it! It's clear. The science is right in front of us. People are so wrapped up in their own narcissistic views of how they are going to make their next buck. But what about your children? Just care about your children. And this is why we cannot afford to have another 4 years of Donald Trump after this election. It cannot not happen. They will kill us. They will kill us. We need a progressive president. We also can't afford someone who's going to do incremental change. Oh, I'm just going to put us back in the Paris Climate Accords. That's not enough. We need a Green New Deal now. We need to transform our economy to get off of these fossil fuels now. It's not enough. And God, her bravery of saying that right to UN leaders' faces, or leaders of the free world at the UN. And I hope that they heard her just a little. My God.